All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with me. And I do believe we are facing some opposition in terms of technicalities, but I also believe that we will get over this. Today, we are discussing the subject of focus, and right in the first portion of the podcast, we read from Matthew 6:33, where Jesus tells us, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you." And based on this verse, I am proposing a principle of life. Um, and that principle is that when your priorities are right, when you keep first things first, then there is an energy in your life, there is an energy in your system which provides for your many other needs. And the challenge for man is often that he's not able to keep the right order. So, the famous Henry Ford said, a weakness of all human beings is trying to do too many things at once. Blaise Pascal, the famous mathematician, said, the last thing one knows is what to put first. And that's the challenge. Like, what is the most important thing of my life? And I think I would like to challenge you with that question for an internal meditation. What is, if you were to be asked, and if you were to answer this question, that what is your life about? What is the most important thing for your life? And huge question. And I believe that this question will provoke somebody at some point of time. Maybe you are listening the recorded version of this at some another time, but maybe this question will provoke you to search deep within. What is your life about? What is the top priority of your life? Big question. But that's the issue of focus. In this podcast, we are going to address the issue of meaning and purpose of life. And our life has a meaning. We are created for a purpose. And that purpose needs to be figured out. In the Bible, Apostle Paul was speaking to a crowd of thinking people. It was in the city of Athens, and he was addressing this crowd. And if you're a Bible reader and if you're following along with me, then you can open to Acts chapter 17. And in Acts chapter 17, Apostle Paul is addressing this group of people, and he is. So he's talking to these people who did not know God, who were worshiping idols. They, in that city there was an inscription where they were seemingly worshiping an unknown God, God whom they did not know. And Apostle Paul is addressing them, and he says uh, this in verse 24. He says, the God who made the world and all things in it, since he is Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in temples made with hands, nor is he served by human hands, as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all people life and breath and all things. And he made from one man every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined their appointed times and boundaries of their habitation. So Apostle Paul is saying, God, the creator of the universe, God who made mankind, he set up nations and boundaries and languages and all these cultural environments. God, he did all of this in 2020. I live in India, Mumbai, and you live somewhere. And we have a nation, we have our government. And all of this, Apostle Paul is saying to these philosophic people of Athens that all of this God did. You know, United Nations, WHO, all of this, elections in America, all of this, God allowed it, God set it up. There is a reason. What is that reason? Verse 27, that they would seek God. Same word seek here, my friends. What does seek mean? Think of it. The purpose of our life is that we will seek God. The purpose of this whole gamut of the world around us, probably the purpose of COVID 19, I don't know, is that men will seek God, right? Seek God. What does it mean that seek God? What does this word seek means? Maybe maybe it means searching, maybe it means desiring, maybe maybe it means maybe it means wanting, craving, focusing. What am I searching? What am I desiring? What am I craving for? What am I thinking and meditating about? Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. So this is the thing. When we are seeking something, when we are challenged in our life to prioritize our search, the the get our priority right, sometimes it would be a challenging thing. Sometimes it would demand a sacrifice. I'll take you to a story of an Old Testament man. Originally, I was thinking of reading that story. That story is found in 1 Kings chapter 19. This is the story of a prophet in the making. This is Prophet Elisha. Elijah was his guru, his teacher, and Elijah just went through a tremendous encounter with God. He had his peaks and he had his troughs, and after going through all of that, Elijah meets this man Elisha, and Elisha is seems to be a very productive man. Elisha was busy in life. It says he had 12 pairs of oxen and he was plowing his field. And with his 12 pairs of oxen, he is plowing the field. And Elijah throws his mantle upon him. And Elisha walks up to him. And then he says something astounding to Elijah. He says, "Let me go and do a few things with my family." He goes, he kills his oxen, he throws a party, and then he comes back. And this is the amazing thing. This is the principle of burning the bridges behind. There are things, when you want to set your priorities right, there are things which need to be relinquished. There are things which need to be ruthlessly cut off. And whether it's your business situation, whether it is your life situation, whether it is your spiritual situation, uh, some of those, uh, what should I say? Um, some of those intense sacrificial decisions may be may look small, but they may be very important decisions of your life. What do you need to drop off from your priority is as important as what do you need to pick up. So I mean, Jesus says, stop worrying about food. What's food? But food is very important. But Jesus says, no, just seek the kingdom. Food will be added to you, right? And this is and if you are new to this, if you are still trying to figure out, I think one of those decisions deep within your heart, I want to know God. I genuinely want to know God. When Jesus comes into the scene and he starts making claims of exclusivity, he says, only me. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. Nobody can come to the Father without coming through me. Christianity has a tremendous. That's why, despite being such a gracious and loving faith, sometimes Christianity invites tremendous amount of persecution. The reason is the claim is exclusive. Jesus does not provide the space for another God. When I heard this call many years back, that was possibly the biggest emotional challenge. Do I need to walk from one culture and shut the gate back and walk into another culture? Yes, I understood it is not a culture issue, it is a faith issue. If I believe God, then I can only believe God. Then I cannot believe God and others. And that's why exclusivity is important. But exclusivity is part of the priority. I cannot be seeking God and somebody else, right? So the other thing is, let me, you know, John Piper makes this statement, because uh, when Jesus says that seek you first the kingdom, do not worry about your food, do not worry about tomorrow. So in our 2020 modern life, we might end up, some hyper spiritual person might end up saying, oh, you don't need to invest, you don't need to buy insurance, you don't need to,